Hiya friends! Happy New Year! I know we are almost done with January, but this is my first video upload for 2024. So, Happy New Year guys! I hope everyone is having a good start this year. So anyway, real talk tayo today. Let's have a little story time on how our life turned 360 degrees. Yes, 360 degrees talaga. How our life turned 360 degrees after moving here in Canada. So, let me share with you the realities of our family, the realities of our adjustment, and on how we settled in here in Saskatoon. So, this is from looking for an apartment, school registration, buying a car, finding a job, yung job hunting namin, and probably the things in between as well. So, before we start, I would just like to let you know that this video will be a mix of English and Tagalog. But for our friends who doesn't understand Tagalog, I won't be forgetting about you. I will be sharing a more detailed video for each category, if I may call it that. There are just some experiences that I think I can better share in Tagalog, or I can explain it well with Tagalog for my fellow kababayans. So, before we proceed, let me introduce myself first. Heya, my name is Kimmy. My family and I moved here in Canada last December of 2022. So, it has been officially over a year now. And we landed as permanent residents with my application through SINP, or the Saskatchewan Immigrant Nominee Program, and Canadian Express entry. We are a family of 3 when we moved, and I am the principal applicant. Both my husband and my daughter are declared as dependents, and we are currently living here in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. If you want to know more about my application process, I will leave the links below on my previous videos on that. So, dun muna tayo mag-start sa preparations bago kami nag-move dito. So, to begin with, ano ba yung mga iniwan namin sa Pilipinas at bakit kami nag-move dito sa Canada? So, backstory muna tayo. Both husband and I had a good paying job before we left. Pareho kaming nasa managerial level na at that time. He is working with the leading property management company, and I was working sa head office of a known lifestyle automotive brand. We had a house, though we were not yet done with the mortgage, pero nabenta naman namin yun. And for most of the time, meron kaming tickets ng sasakyan because where I used to work, meron akong assigned company car. So, transportation was not an issue. So, generally, life was okay. Our family is comfortable in a way, if I may say. We were not struggling. We had enough of whatever we need. Our daughter was doing well in school, pero since may COVID restrictions pa din before we left, online pa rin yung mga classes niya. Some friends asked us, okay naman kayo dito sa Pilipinas, bakit pa kayo pumunta ng Canada, or bakit pa kayo pupunta ng Canada? Our easy answer to that is, for our daughter's future. Well, ngayon, it's officially for our kids' future na. Isang sign din na nakapag-adjust na kami dito sa Canada is we are expecting our second child. So, after a year, actually not even, pero ayun na nga, magiging family of 4 na kami very, very soon. I am currently in my second trimester, so medyo very soon na talaga. But anyway, going back, ang main reason talaga is for our kids' future. Kahit na nasa Pilipinas pa kami, we know na gusto naming sundan si Brie. So, it is really for our kids' future. Kahit okay naman kami sa Pilipinas, andun yung worry namin na kami lumaki. Okay yung kung nasaan kami at that time. Pero with how the economy, the government, and how the society is now, we are just worried if the kids today will still have the same opportunities that we had back when we were the young ones. don't get me wrong on this, wala akong nakikitang masama na mabuhay sa Pilipinas. Pero, kami ni husband, wala talaga kaming balak mag-ibang bansa before. Kasi okay naman kami pareho. But, everything changed. Our perspective changed during the pandemic. Since we have this chance to move to Canada, parang may opportunity kami, diba? Why not take this opportunity? Kasi with what happened during the pandemic and with a million of realizations during pandemic. So, we decided to proceed with the application with our hopes to get a better quality of life for the kids and for their future. Our thought process, Our thought process that time is yung pag nagdagdag ba tayo ng anak, kaya pa ba natin magbayad ng tuition hanggang college? Anong adjustments ba ang kailangan natin gawin? May pang-grocery pa ba kaya tayo? Enough pa ba yung budget natin? May papasyal pa ba natin yung mga bata? And many more questions. Tsaka, yung safety na din ng society. Pero, isa pa is yung coming from the pandemic, when most of the world was on top of it already, pero tayo sa Pilipinas, hirap na hirap pa rin tayong mag-navigate and mag-control ng widespread. That was really our turning point na tara na, tuloy na natin to. So ayun, we went ahead with my application. We chose Saskatchewan Immigrant Nominee Program or the SINP mainly because yung family ni husband is nandun na. Yung mga kapatid niya, yung mom niya nandun na. Kami na lang yung nasa Pilipinas talaga. And with that in consideration, we had bigger chance for approval because I can claim points on my CRS, points for having family members who are living in Saskatchewan. So, more chances of winning nga, sabi nila. So, fast forward, when we got approved, we had to sell the house kasi mahabang proseso talaga yun, so we had to immediately sell it. We had to sort all of our things. We had to think through kung ano talaga yung mga dadalhin namin, ano yung to pass on to family members. We have to sort things out, kung ano yung ibebenta, ano yung pamigay. Nag-garage sale din kami dun sa village namin. So, buti na lang yun. Medyo naging madali kasi may ibang neighbors na pumakyaw. Yung mga sapatos, yung mga damit, yung mga small appliances. Naku, yung mga plato, ang dami. Pero buti na lang may mga pumakyaw. Mga cutlery, mga sobrang stock sa bahay. Diyos ko, yun yung mga hindi ko nauulitin dito. Yung mag-hoard ng gamit. Minimalist na tayo dito. Pero yun, we had to organize all our documents, decide and list the things that we need to bring. Kasi with limited luggage, kailangan talaga namin pagplanuhan yung mga dadalhin namin. As newcomers though, you can bring all the things that you want. You just have to declare it para you can avail of tax exemption on your goods to follow. Pero, syempre, kami, moving to another country, we want to limit our expenses. Though, free yung pagpasok ng mga prized possessions namin or yung mga goods to follow namin, walang tax or anything. Yung excess baggage sa eroplano or yung shipping fee ng mga goods to follow namin is may bayad. So, doon na lang kami nag-stick sa allowed baggage limit doon sa flight namin. So, ayun, yun na nga. When we sold our house, we had to figure out saan kami titira for a month before we leave. We couldn't stay at my parents' house kasi walang enough space for our kalat with the packing and everything. Syempre, ilang bukas na ng luggage yun. And, because my parents' house is in Taguig, so medyo problema ang parking. Kasi, Diyos ko, yun. The common problem sa metro, pagpasok mo pa lang ng neighborhood, may mga sasakyan, pero walang garahe. Well, pwede naman namin ipilit yon, pero may option naman na mas madali. So, we stayed at a place in BGC na lang with the help of a friend. Singit ko na din. Hi, Ma'am Yoli. Shoutout na natin. Pero yun, thank you very much. Thank you talaga sa'yo. Pero, ayun, isang consideration pa namin is second week of December yung flight namin. Tapos si Hubs, nag-last day sa work, parang third week of November or mid-November. Somewhere around that time. So, advantage sa amin na magstay sa BGC kasi doon na din nag-work si Hubs. And aside from that, super accessible sa lahat. Sa restaurants, groceries, and sa malls, para din sa last minute shopping. So, yon. Pero yun nga, yung mga last minute shopping, Diyos ko, nakailang bukas na kami ng luggage. Siguro hanggang sa last night namin, before ng flight namin, nag-impake pa rin kami. Anyway, so, ang last na binenta is yung sasakyan ni Hubs. 2 weeks yata before kami umalis nung hinatid niya yung sasakyan dun sa buyer, dun sa new owner. So, ayun, we were all set. The day of our flight finally arrived. Hinatid kami sa airport ng family ko and another friend. Hi, Kuya Pusing. Thank you din super sa'yo. So, ayun. We flew to Canada. So, before landing here in Canada, we did not need to book a hotel or an Airbnb or a place to stay. Kasi nakitira rin kami for about a month sa house ng sister ni husband. We were also blessed that we did not have to worry for any transportation. When we landed, it was a flight it is a flight from Philippines to Japan to Vancouver. So when we landed in Vancouver, sinalubong kami ng family ng tita ko who lives in Surrey. They took us out for lunch and then pahinga lang saglit sa house nila tapos back to the airport na. And then from Vancouver to Saskatoon, yung flight naman namin na yun, pagdating namin doon, kompleto din yung family ni Hubs na sumalubong sa amin pagdating namin sa airport ng Saskatoon. So, basically, it was easy for us to land. It was easy for us to land for the first time here in Canada. So, yeah. Generally speaking, naging madali for our family to settle in here in Saskatoon. Kasi we have our family here. We were not blinded on what to expect or on what we need. Especially nung dumating kami, winter time yun. Na-guide nila kagad kami kung ano yung dapat bilhin, ano yung kailangan namin for the season. Kasi yung mga winter gear, dito na namin binili. Hindi na kami nagdala kasi nga sobrang bulky. So, ayun. Pero pala, before I forget, ang pinaka-importanting preparation before you move in Canada or before moving to another country is to prepare your finances. Kaya sa mga nag-a-apply pa lang ngayon or for those who are in the process or those who are planning to apply for immigration, ito talaga ang number 1 na kailangan yung gawin. Prepare for your finances. Yung proof of funds, kailangan nyo talaga yun. Kung magkano yung amount na required as your POF or proof of funds, kailangan hawak mo yun pagdating mo dito. Not necessarily physically dala mo yung cash, dala mo yung pera or hawak mo yung pera or the pera is in your hands. What it means is dapat accessible sa'yo yung pera when you land. Puro cashless naman yung transaction dito sa Canada. So, if yung finances mo or if yung savings mo or if yung pera mo is on a Visa, is on a Visa account or a MasterCard account, walang problema doon. Debit ka lang ng debit pag bumili ka. Kaso, Diyos ko, ang bilis maubos ng peso talaga pag dollar ang binibili mo. Kaya, talagang budgetarian kami pagdating dito. Anyway, ang una namin binili is, since hindi kami bumili sa Pilipinas or wala talaga kaming dala, winter gear yung binili namin. Maganda din yung dating namin kasi nung namili kami, magki-Christmas na. So, madaming nakasale at that time. So, good score na din yung mga yung winter gear na nabili namin. Alam ko, parang lahat yata na binili namin nakasale. Wala kami binili na regular price nun. So, may winter gear na kami. The next that we did was, this was the first big ticket item na binili namin. This was to find and buy a car for us kasi winter. Ayaw namin mag-commute. And we were very specific to look for an SUV that is an all-wheel drive. As per family and friends recommendation. Kasi nga, first time namin magdadrive in snow. So, maganda yung may control kami sa sasakyan. So, ayun nga, we were able to find one at a good price, good condition as well. Pero, not so good yung naging experience namin. Ito rin yung first frustration namin in Canada. Yeah. So, yun nga. Long story short, we found the listing of that car sa kijiji.com. Based naman sa reviews, based din sa family members and friends, okay naman daw sa Kijiji. talagang makakahanap ka ng mura na sasakyan, tsambahan nga lang. Pero ayun nga, nakatsamba kami. Pero mas natsambahan kami. Yun. Hanggang ngayon, this is one of the biggest nightmares. Basically, this is one of the biggest mistakes that we did and that you should not do. Huwag yung gagayahin. We bought a 2013 Equinox, a little aged, but a goodie. We found it in Kijiji, parang OLX before sa Pilipinas. Parang Facebook Marketplace na din, pero with its own platform. Buy and sell website siya, so ayun na nga. I talked to the seller, we met them on where the car was parked. We paid in cash. Sinamahan din kami ng seller na makapag-register ng sasakyan sa SGI. Yung SGI is yun yung parang LTO dito sa Saskatchewan. So yun. Everything was all okay. Na-register namin. May sasakyan na kami umuwi. In just an hour and a half, I think. So, pero, after a month and a half, biglang may kumatok sa unit namin at hihilain na daw ang sasakyan. So, ito na. Sumabog na yung brain cells ko. Ano nang nangyayari? Well, long story short ulit, yung nabili namin na sasakyan is may lien sa bank. Collateral siya ng previous owner for whatever bank transaction she had at that time. That time, the question was, paano namin nabili? Paano kami nakapagparehistro? Yun nga, paano namin narehistro na may sabit walang sasakyan? All along, we thought na pag na-register sa SGI, walang problema yung ownership ng sasakyan. Some family and friends had similar transactions with buying cars in Kijiji before, but nothing like this happened to them. It was all new, the situation. So lahat talaga kami nagulat, and ang dami kong naiyak nun. But we had the police involved. The towing lady was helpful. Mostly the police were very, very helpful. They assisted us up on what to do until we filed a process. We filed a claim and processed the claim against the buyer. And as of the moment, we're still not done with it. So, pag bibili kayo ng sasakyan dito sa Canada, lalo if you are buying directly from a person and paying in cash, do your own research to check with ISC before paying that person. I will leave a link below for that one. There's just a $10 fee to check the VIN or yung chassis number na mas common na tawag dati dyan sa Pilipinas. But yeah, with ISC, you can do a property check if may liens or may ties yung sasakyan that you would like to buy. Yeah, I'd create a separate video for this one to help others na rin and to give some tips para hindi na maloko. Kasi talagang masakit, hindi lang masakit siya. Sakit siya, lalo na sa bulsa. Tsaka, grabe, sobra yung frustration talaga nung nangyari. But, more than what happened and more than losing the vehicle and the money that we spent on that, sobra talaga yung galit ko sa sarili ko noon. And, yung, alam mo yun, yung paano ako naloko, paano kami nagpaloko. Kasi sa Pilipinas, sobrang doubtful ako with everything. Ako yung pinakamahirap kumbinsin talaga na sama ka coffee lang yung sa mga multi-level marketing. Tapos, discounted to, naka-promo. Pero, may underlying considerations. Well, I assume na hindi ako madaling ma-sales talk. Dahil, hindi talaga ako madaling magtiwala. May trust issues pala. Pero, ayun na nga. Doon ko na rin na-realize na mali namin talaga is to let all our guards down. Yeah, we let everything down. We've been trusting. Paglipat namin ng Canada, nagtiwala kami kagad. Tiwala kami na sa ibang bansa. Parang dito sa Canada, ibang mundo na to. Walang scammers na katulad sa Pilipinas na they are everywhere waiting for you to get that bait. And, ayun na nga, we learned that lesson the hard way. Isa pang naging mahirap is we had the need and urgency to buy a car kasi winter and ayaw namin mag-commute. So, mahirap kasi we also had the budget to buy a decent second-hand car. what do you call this? Iba yung perspective ng tight ka sa budget at careful ka sa lahat versus dun sa perspective ng may budget ka and you think na super need mo ng car. So parang nakita ka go, bili. Which is very wrong. We learned it the hard way. So after that experience, we bought our second car doon na sa dealer ng second-hand cars. For security na din. Just to be sure na hindi na mawawala sa amin yung sasakyan. But yeah, given our dented budget, kahit gusto namin mag-brand new, wala na kami pang down payment. Isip nga namin, sana pala nag-brand new na lang tayo that time. Pero, ayun nga, as a newcomer, wala pa kaming work experience here in Canada to be qualified for a zero down payment. Kasi wala na kami panahon. Pinambili na namin dun sa unang sasakyan. Pero, all is well. May sasakyan na kaming ginagamit ngayon. Challenge lang is, syempre, sharing kami. Wala lang. Kasi hindi kami pareho ng work schedule hub, so agawan kami. Char. Hindi naman sa agawan. Talaga nag-adjust lang kami sa schedules namin. Kasi nasanay din ako before na pag gusto kong umalis, syempre, tigisa kami na sasakyan na nagagamit noon. Nakakakilos ako mag-isa. Pero, ayun, talagang ngayon naman hindi rin kami nakakakilos ng hiwalay. So, okay lang din. More of inarte problems ko lang yun. Nagsishare kami sa isang sasakyan. Hindi talaga siya problema. Pero, ayun na nga, madali lang din bumili ng sasakyan dito sa Canada for 0% down. Madali lang din mag-register ng sasakyan. Mahirap lang yung may utang ka at ilang taon kang magbabayad. So, yun na talaga. So, anyway, let's gear away from that nightmare because everything is A-okay now. Goods na kami. So, after na nung car, we secured an apartment to lease and move-in date was January 1st of 2023. So, sobrang bilis lang din ng leasing process. You just have to prove that you have the capacity to pay. If you have been residing here already and may work ka, payslips will be good. So, parang, I think 3 latest copy of your payslips will be good. Pero, since newcomer kami, and wala naman kaming work pa at that time, I gave them a copy of our proof of funds. So, ayun, in just 2 or 3 days, we signed the lease contract and we had a move-in date already. Actually, kaya ngayon ng 1 day siguro, pero nag-request pa kasi kami ng viewing ng unit. Siyempre, gusto din namin makita in action, hindi lang doon sa photos, hindi lang doon sa floor plan. Pero, ayun na nga, naghintay kami ng viewing. Tapos after the viewing, we signed the contract. So, basically, naging madali yung paghanap namin ng apartment because there was one apartment na walking distance lang sa house ng sister ni husband, which was an advantage for us kasi gusto rin namin na malapit sa kanila. So, sa isang apartment lang rin talaga ako nag-inquire. Bonus na rin sa amin na it is near the school. It is also near a couple of grocery stores and tahimik yung neighborhood kung nasaan kami ngayon. And before the house pala, isang reason kung bakit din kami December nag-move in at lumipad sa Canada is, and sinalubong yung winter, is talagang para makasabay yung daughter namin ng pagpasok sa school after ng winter break. So yun, we registered our daughter sa Catholic school after Christmas. She was just scheduled for an assessment test. We just had to submit documents and then okay na. We registered her sa school bus na din. So after winter break, yung pagbalik ng January, kasabay niya na yung mga kids pumasok sa school. Nag-first day na din siya after that. Nag-first day na din siya after the winter break. Yun pala din. Isa din sa maganda dito sa Saskatchewan sa schools is both public and Catholic schools are covered by the provincial government. So, wala kami babayaran. Walang tuition fee or anything. Kasi in other provinces, only public schools are covered. Pero yung school na papasukan ng mga bagets will depend on which neighborhood you live. So, hindi ka pwedeng mag-enroll sa school na nasa kabilang neighborhood unless you prefer your kids to go to a French immersion school or probably a private school or a special school for that. Yung school registration, yun yung actually easiest na nagawa namin for all the process. And yung daughter namin talaga yung pinakamabilis na nag-adjust. One day lang daw siya medyo nangapa. And then the next day, kinikwento na siya na may friends na siya. And ayun, nag-blend in na siya with her classmates. And talagang feeling ko, alam mo yun, nasabik din siya ng face-to-face interaction with classmates. Kasi nga, parang 2.5 years, online class lang sila. So, talagang syempre pag bata ka, diba, you'll crave for that connection with the kids. So anyway, ayun na nga, before the school started ng January, nakapag-move in na rin kami sa apartment. Okay na si Baguette sa school, so next na on our list is to find a job. And dito na, nag-start yung challenge namin mag-asawa. So yun na nga, with our job hunting, there were a lot of available jobs here in Saskatoon. Pero our goal that time was to search for the best possible option before settling onto it, or just going for whatever is the available job. Personally, I wanted something related to what I was doing or to the things that I know. Others may say na choosy ako, pero yes. I won't deny that. Naging choosy talaga ako. Hindi lang ako, pati si Hub sa work. And before we moved here, most of the people are telling us na just grab the first job that is available. But yeah, my stubborn self wants to try and aim for a little better than just to get what is the easiest job that I can get. Parang naging challenge din sa akin nun. Kasi I want a job that I like. Kasi in my mind, moving and adjusting into another country will be a big challenge already. Mas magiging mahirap sa akin for me to have a job na ayaw ko. On top of that, gusto ko pag nag-work ako, gusto ko yung ginagawa ko. Hindi yung mafe-feel ko na parang dinadrag ko na lang yung sarili ko to work. Kasi nga, necessity siya or wala akong choice. Ito lang yung work na meron. Ito yung work na kinuha ko. Anyway, all the jobs that are available are minimum paying jobs. There's nothing wrong with that. Kasi kung wala naman kaming option, we'll go with that one na. Pero, with the cost of living here in Canada, I know hindi enough yon para sa amin. Considering our dented budget dahil doon sa sasakyan and yung remaining funds that we have on hand is hindi na enough. As in, back to zero talaga kami kasi wala kaming assets, wala kaming work. As in, nothing. Kaya, I refuse to start from scratch, basically. I just wanted to start from experience. Kasi at this point in life, sa edad namin ni Hubs, alam na namin kung ano yung gusto namin. Alam na namin kung saan kami mas magiging productive. There are things that we learned not to do. There are things that we know that we need to do personally and to our family. We just don't want to settle on things na alam naman namin hindi namin gusto. So, pinag-pray ko talaga kay Lord na tulungan kami makahanap ng work. Kasi real talk, talagang critical level na kami. At mahal ang bilihin dito sa Canada. Hindi nagkakalayo yung pakiramdam sa Pilipinas na mahal ang bilihin. Mahal din ang bilihin dito sa Canada. So, same lang tayo na nafe-feel. Pag hindi ka marunong mag-budget, talagang yari ka. Well, to be honest, mas mura ang bahay sa Pilipinas. Mas mura ang mag-rent sa Pilipinas kesa dito sa Canada. Yung rent ng apartment ay yung rent ng apartment is yung pinakamalaking expense namin dito talaga monthly. And in my opinion, mas affordable at mas practical magbahay sa Pilipinas compared sa bumili ng sasakyan. Dito naman sa Canada, sobrang mahal mag-rent at bumili ng bahay. Yung sasakyan naman, para ka lang bumili ng mamahaling cellphone. Mga 2 cellphone siguro. Ganon. Char. Pero, this comparison is with earning peso and spending peso. And then, earning Canadian dollar and spending Canadian dollar as well. Hindi Canadian dollar to peso kasi ibang usapan talaga yon. Lahat nagiging mura pag dollar to peso. Pero anyway, so yun nga, we know what we wanted. We know what would help our family. Kaya, hinanap talaga namin yung best option for work. Yung best option namin for employment. Basically, ganon. So, anyway, we started job searching by mid-February. We had million of versions of our resumes since we wanted each one to be personally made for each of the job opening that we applied for. And of course, we also had to do our resume on a Canadian format. So, ayun, ang dami namin pinasahan. I think I submitted 23 applications. dalawa lang nag-respond na hindi auto-reply and for interview na. May ibang nag-reply pero parang sorry, this has been filled in already, ganyan-ganyan. Pero yun, so dalawa yung nag-reply for an interview. I got lucky because one of the two that responded, I got accepted right away. Not really right away, pero mabilis lang din. Days lang ang binilang. I started my work. So, yay! Employed na ako. Hindi na ako unemployed. So, si Hobbs naman, mas madami pa atang na-applyan sa akin. Pero, more on property management jobs. He had an interview with a known company dito. He made it to the shortlist, but unfortunately, they chose a different candidate. So, tuloy ang job hunting. In the middle of our job hunt, feeling namin may mali kaming ginagawa kasi bakit wala nagre-reply. So, we decided to seek help from the free newcomer services that was available. We went and inquired at SODS or Saskatoon Open Door Society, and we signed up for employment assistance. So one of the benefit of that is they sent us lists of job opening from their partner companies, and we also had a one-on-one coaching session on how to improve our resumes. Funny enough though, a day after my one-on-one session, I received a message that I am scheduled for an interview kung saan ako nag-work ngayon. So yun, I was accepted and started work after a few days. So basically, I didn't have to update my resume anymore because I got the job. But at least I have that reference already just in case I would be doing a job hunt in the future. Pero sa ngayon, okay pa. And at least may reference na din ako to share with you kung paano mag-prepare ng Canadian format resume. But yeah, that will be for a future video. Anyway, that was, I think, 3rd week of March when I started my job. 1 month of applications and waiting felt forever that time. Pero I just got the job. I got the job just in time. Ba yan? Naghalo-halo yung sinabi ko. So yan, I got the job just in time. Since we had that big dent in our finances dahil sa nawalang sasakyan, and by this time, paubos na yung budget namin. Nasa critical level na talaga. As in, last thread na yung hawak namin na budget. But thank God, I got the job just in time talaga. I am currently working as a service advisor for a known automotive brand, so it is a familiar ground for me since my experience back in the Philippines was also working for parts and service. Si Hobbs naman, medyo mas matagal lang ang wait time bago nakahanap ng work. We had a friend that recommended him. So yun, sobrang laking bagay na referral dito sa work. Talagang susi sa tagumpay si Ray. Hi, Ray. Isa ka talaga sa blessing namin. Salamat. But yeah, Hobbs is currently working for a milling company. Siya yung nalihis lang talaga ng field from his work experience sa Pilipinas. Pero okay lang. We are both thankful na din to have our jobs. Okay kami with our first jobs that we have here. And lalo na with the pay. Very okay kami as newcomers. And we were almost hopeless talaga na wala kaming mahanap na work. But kung para sa'yo talaga. Yung time na akala namin wala ng pag-asa, ito si Lord provide siya ng answers. And yeah, I can say He always provides for our family. So, tiwala lang talaga. Everything will come at the right time. So, ayun, since pareho na kaming may work, wala na kaming takot na, wala na kaming pambayad ng rent, wala kaming pambayad ng sasakyan, wala na kaming pang grocery. Pero yun na nga. So, wala na yung takot na ganun. Okay na kami. Just like my immigration application, everything fell into place at the right time and at the right moment. And right now, I can say we have settled fully. Though, we are not yet at the point where we want to be. Syempre, we have our plans for our family, but I think all the gears are engaged. Kumbaga napainit na namin yung makina ng sasakyan, and nasa first gear na kami. Ito yung sinasabi nila na malayo pa, pero malayo na. Yung malayo pa ang lalakbayin, pero malayo na ang naitakbo. Huh? Basta yun. Ewan. Kaya ngayon kasi, sa edad namin na to, isisimula ulit kami mag-build ng future namin. So, from just the 3 of us when we moved here, we are soon to be a family of 4. And yung sinasabi nila na pag lumipat ka sa Canada or kung saang bansa mo man gusto, hindi instant nagiginhawa ang buhay mo. Naniniwala ako, nothing easy is worth having. Kailangan ng hard work talaga. Totoo na malaking ginhawa sa quality of living dito sa Canada if i-compare mo sa Pilipinas. Basically, this is true for us kasi magkakasama kami na nag-migrate. What I mean is, yung walang naiwan sa amin na susuportahan sa Pilipinas. Kasi, sa totoo lang, yung iba dito mag-isa lang, tas naiwan yung pamilya sa Pilipinas kasi kailangan mag-work dahil wala nang opportunity sa Pilipinas. So, dito sila nag-work para masuportahan yung Pilipinas, yung pamilya nila sa Pilipinas. Mas challenging yung situation nila kasi minimum yung sahod, tatlo-tatlo yung work para makaipon. Tapos bukod sa susuportahan nila yung sarili nila dito, kailangan nilang suportahan din yung pamilya nila sa Pilipinas. Kaya yung mga naiwan dyan sa Pilipinas, huwag pasaway. Magpakibait kayo. Hindi madali ang buhay dito sa Canada. Pero, ayun, seryoso yun. Hindi biro ang gastusin dito sa Canada. Minimum salary, mabubuhay mo sarili mo. Pero kulang yun kung kailangan mo magpadala sa Pilipinas. Tsaka, grabe din yung lungkot na mararamdaman mo pag nalayo ka na sa nakasanayan mo na environment. Lalo na pag nalayo ka sa pamilya. Ako, kahit kasama ko yung husband and yung daughter ko dito, meron din akong time na hindi ako makatulog, tas bigla na lang akong iiyak for no reason. Actually, may reason naman, kasi nasasad ako. So, yun yung dahilan na ako umiiyak. So, as an extrovert, char. Pero hindi, yun. Sobrang nanibago ako sa environment dito, lalo nung wala pa akong work. Kasi dito lang ako sa bahay. And hindi ako sanay na nakakulong lang ako sa bahay. Wala akong kausap, wala akong outlet ng OA ko na energy. Dalawa lang kami ni Hobbs ang magkasama. Parang, ano na pag-usapan natin? Well, sa Pilipinas kasi, to compare it, madali ko lang makausap sila mama, sila papa, yung mga kapatid ko. And with work, may time pa with friends, or malapit lang yung mga friends ko. Wala kang, kasi dito, syempre kakalipat namin, wala kang ride or die na friends, nakakulitan at kaokrayan, tas madali mo masyal pag weekend kasi ang daming pwedeng puntahan dyan sa Pilipinas. Traffic lang ang kalaban mo. Pero, alam mo yun, madali lang makapag-reach out sa friends. Dito, lalo pag winter, totoo na malakas maka-apekto sa mood. Ang lakas makapagpalungkot. Alam mo yun, there was a time that I was craving for connections that I had nakatulad sa Pilipinas. Pero since bago kami dito, even if we have our family here and may friends naman na din kami dito, I personally still had to accept the fact that this is a new world, kumbaga. Sa Pinas pa lang naman, na-prepare ko na yung sarili ko sa ganitong mindset. Pero iba pala talaga yung situation pag nandun ka na. Tsaka, iba din. Sa Pilipinas kasi yung friends mo, pag tinawagan mo, tara lunch tayo, tara dinner tayo, madali lang. Dito, lahat busy sa work, lahat, alam mo yun, hindi, paano ko ba i-explain? Hindi man busy sa work, hindi pare-pareho yung schedule nyo. Sa Pilipinas kasi, madali lang 8 to 5, 9 to 5, 9 to 6. So, after that working hours, although may iba, mas common kasi yung 9 to 6, 8 to 5, after work, makakapag get together kayo, makakapag sama-sama kayo. Pero dito kasi, iba-iba yung shift. So, challenge ang schedule. Tapos, hindi lahat weekends available. Yung iba nag-work ng weekend. So, ayun. Ganon. Punta naman tayo doon sa gasgas na sinasabi ng lahat na difference ng Pinas at Canada. Ito yung quality of life talaga. Parating sinasabi to, pero probably iba-iba yung interpretation natin dito. But I would like to say na for me, moving here in Canada was the best decision for our family. Kahit 1 year pa lang kami nandito. Pero balikan nyo na lang ako after 2 or 3 years siguro. Tanungin nyo na lang ulit ako kung same pa rin ba. Char. Pero seriously, eto yon. Sa Pinas, maganda yung sahod namin ni Hubs. Pero kahit i-combine namin yung salary namin, wala rin halos talaga kaming nasa-save for emergency funds. Kasi from our earnings, babawas mo pa dun yung tuition fee na napakamahal. So, yun. So, tuition fee. Tapos, ano ba? Bonus na may healthcare coverage kami sa work. Pero, majority of the time, madami pa ring out-of-pocket na gastos, lalo sa gamot. Pag meron kang condition or pag nagkasakit ka. Sa work naman, napakaaga mong gigising. May kipagsapalaran ka sa traffic. And then, pag uwi mo, sakto rush hour, mas grabe ang lagay ng traffic. So, pag nag-OT ka naman, wala kang OT pay. Tapos, pag umuwi ka ng late, alam mo yun, pag umuwi ka ng late, mas maluwag yung traffic. Pero, umuwi ka ng late, sayang yung oras mo na paghihintay. Madalas, pag nag-out ka ng 5 p.m., same lang din yung oras ng dating mo sa bahay pag umalis ka ng 7 p.m. You know what I mean? Madaming nasasayang na oras dahil sa traffic. Imagine if 1 to 2 hours ang usual travel time mo pagpasok, then another 1 to 2 hours pa uwi. 4 hours na yung nasasayang mong oras dahil lang sa traffic. In our case, sa Kainta kami nakatira nun, nung pareho kami ni Hubs na nag-work sa BGC, 4 to 5 hours in total ang average travel time namin papasok at pauwi. On worst days, lalo na pag December or if may aksidente sa daan, aabot pa yun ng 6 to 7 hours. Na parang wala na. Most of our day was just spent on traffic. Tapos mapapagod ka pa sa work. So pag uwi mo, wala na, deads ka na. Dito naman sa Canada, ang kaibahan, hindi na namin kailangan mag-budget for the tuition fee. Tapos, yung maintenance meds mo, if may condition ka, covered ng health insurance. Usually, covered yun ng health insurance ng work mo or ng government. I don't know. Basta covered siya ng health insurance. Yung traffic, imagine 8 minutes na lang ang travel time ko to work. Si husband naman, 13 kilometers away yung work, 10 minutes lang ang travel time niya. Parking to parking na yun. Sa Pilipinas naman, for Village East, sa Kainta, papuntang Mega Mall, 9.6 kilometers lang. Pero ang travel time mo, of course with traffic, which is normal unless magbiyahe ka ng madaling araw, 1 to 2 hours. 9.6 kilometers lang yun. Abutin ka pa ng 2 oras. These are the things na malaking ginhawa talaga sa time namin. Ito rin yung sobrang na-enjoy ko since lumipat kami dito. Since very province ang Saskatoon, sobrang laid back ng buhay compared sa nakasanayan namin na fast-paced, demanding at traffic-infused na life namin sa Canada. Sa Pilipinas. Sorry, yun. So, yung feels na ang ganap is from chaos to kalma, mas simple yung buhay. So, yun naman yung na-enjoy ko simula nung paglipat namin dito. Ayun nga, medyo mahaba-haba na ikwentuhan natin. Pero, with everything that I shared, after a year of living here in Canada, tama pa din ba yung naging decision namin na mag-migrate dito? That is the question. Pero for me, it is still a yes. The reasons why we are here is far more greater than the challenges that we had or the challenges that we foresee. Ang kalaban mo lang talaga dito sa Canada is inflation dahil mahal talaga ang bilihin. Though, I think that is true for everybody. This is the reality of our world today na kahit nasaan pa tayo, talagang mahal ang bilihin. Talagang inflation is real. And anyway, ayun nga, ang nakikita ko lang talagang pagtatrabahuan namin is yung pagbili ng bahay. Kasi sobrang mahal magbahay dito. Sobrang talagang sky high ang real estate dito. And even if we are generally adjusted here, we are still learning and we have a lot of things to learn pa. Especially with handling our finances. Ngayon talaga, nasusubok ang budgeting skills. Ang pag-intindi how taxes work here kasi syempre ibang-iba. And yung pagplano ng savings namin and many, many more. Pero, ayun nga. So, yung spending habits namin with our earnings sa Pilipinas is different from the ratio of our earnings versus spend dito sa Canada. Kaya talagang malaki-laki ang adjustment when it comes to our finances. Lalo na nung nadali talaga kami nung unang sasakyan na binili namin. Well, anyway, yung weather dito sa Saskatoon, sa totoo lang, nag-e-enjoy kami ng daughter ko. Si Hubs, hindi masyado. Minsan lang. May days naman na OMG ang OA ng lamig, pero most of the time na-enjoy naman namin yung weather. Feeling ko din, I'm built for the cold. Friends kasi kami ni Elsa. The cold never bothered us anyway. Ganon. Char. Pero yun na nga. Siguro what I can say for those who are planning, preparing, or maybe in the process of moving here in Canada, the most important thing that you need to have is yung buo yung loob mo at firm yung decision mo to move. Firm yung decision mo to work, or kung ano man yung reason mo. Kasi, mahihirapan ka if meron ka pa ding doubts, if meron ka nung, tama ba yung decision ko na lumipad pa Canada, tama ba na dun ako mag-work, gusto ko ba talaga tong gagawin ko? Kasi if meron kang doubts, I think, and I suppose, mas mahihirapan ka. Pero, kung buo yung loob mo, walang magiging problema. Alam mo yun, yung tapang at lakas at loob talaga yung kailangan mong baunin. Walang magiging mahirap kung buo yung loob mo. Yes, there will always be challenges. Pero if you have a reason that is far greater than any challenges that will come your way, you can just dance along with the rhythm of it. Canada is a real world with the real economic and government challenges as well. Hindi instant solution sa kahirapan ang pag-move dito sa Canada or pag-move ng ibang bansa kung saan mo man gusto. If you decide to work here, migrate here, or settle here for good in Canada, it should always be for the right reasons. Kung ano man yung reason na yun, depende yun sa situation mo, depende yun sa reality mo, pero dapat your heart and your mind should have the right perspective on it. Hindi lang yung dahil napipilitan ka or anything. Yun. So, my question for you, ano besh? Ready ka na ba for Canada? Tara na, halika na! Anyway, this has been a long chat. Thank you for listening to my kwento session. I hope you stick around here in my channel because I want to share more of the realities of our life here in Canada. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys soon. Bye!